Check, check, check. Hey, welcome everybody. How are you all doing? What a great audience for a jazz band concert. We're a full house here. My name is Ted Malt, Director of Performing Arts, Professor of Music Studies at West Shore Community College. It's great having you all here on stage. We have Jazz Band 2, and before I get into Jazz Band 2, I just want to let you know, all of our friends at home online, we're live streaming this with 11 cameras tonight. We have bass cams, we have cameras all over the place, and you guys are all mic'd up, so hooting and hollering for them is a great thing. So online, hello, and thank you for joining us. So this is Big Band 2, and this group started a couple years ago. And I remember playing a couple tunes with this group, and it started as an idea. John Schranko said, boy, it'd be really nice to get a band that anybody can come play and just be comfortable. And I said, that's a cool idea. And Keith Kuczynski said, yeah, that'd be great. And so we did our first concert, what, 3 years ago or 2? Anybody? 3. Okay, I'm getting old. I don't remember. 3 years ago. And now we have 45 members on stage from all over the place. So this is our feeder program into Jazz 1, which is great. We also have our Wind Symphony. We just had a concert on Monday, last Monday. It was wonderful. So a lot of these people are in that. And this is our final show of the year. We have 375 people in our music program here, between our choirs, our bands, and everything. So this is just one of the groups now. And so I can't do this alone. It takes a true village to do everything we do here, and I'll do the thank yous later. But it is an honor to be able to work with a group like this with 2 other educators. Now, I'm not going to go into how old all these educators are, right? So one of them has a lot more experience, you know. We talked about wheels and, you know, inventions and stuff. So, but poor John, he's a trumpet player too, and his ego can't take it. But John Charanko, Director of Bands Emeritus from Hart Public Schools, is one of our directors for this, and I'm going to bring him out right now. So please give a round of applause for Mr. John Charanko.
It's a metronome. I'm so old I can't remember tempos. Or you laugh. 1, 2, 1. So it was Ron Merrick on tenor sax and Cale Omnis on alto sax. So it's an absolute honor to work here with our other two directors and all our fantastic musicians. The next director is the director at Ludington High School. And I just want to say one thing really quick. Jazz band that's going to D.C. next week. I think it's next week, isn't it, for Ludington? Good luck. Have fun. They're going to go represent Ludington and Washington, D.C., so hopefully they have a great, fun trip. Without further ado, I would like to bring out Mr. Keith Kuczynski.
Hey, how about Nick Judkins on drums? Nice job, man. That also featured, who was that? Michael Quinteros on tenor, Amelia Hatch on alto saxophone, and Michael Stream on trumpet. Thank you guys so much. This is one of the most amazing nights of the year to see all this hard work and the end of what we've worked so hard to do. And this is huge. I said this last concert, like, this is amazing how many people in one spot celebrating an American art form. So proud of you all for doing this, and we're gonna continue on. Mr. T, you ready, buddy? Yeah. All right, next up, let's give it up for Mr. T again.
So yeah, we had soloists on but you got to give a hand to Macy back there on the drum set. That was awesome. So our first solo on that was Henry Galindo from Heart. Our next soloist was the preeminent Caden Plummer on guitar. Mr. Kuczynski, the floor is yours.
How about Sarah Abbott on the drums? Sarah Abbott. That also featured, again, Kale on alto saxophones. Give it up for Kale. Ron on tenor. Bridget back on trombone. And Rich Lipinski on alto. And that was Bradley's Groove Shop. And, throughout the set, you're going to hear different styles of music and swing and the shuffle beat as a percussionist. Man, that's a Mount Everest of a skill. And I think, Sarah, that was your first time playing. I'm stalling so you can get back. She's doing great. It's really cool. So at this time, just really quick, we're going to go down, saxophones back up. If you guys can say your name, where you're from, and what school you go to, if you still go to school. Okay, here we go.
Name is Michael Nato. I go to Shelby. I'm a junior.
My name is Joe Klein. I go to Ludington, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Ron Merrick. I graduated from Ludington High School in the class of 19. And I live in Reed City right now.
Hi, I'm Austin Horak. I'm a West Shore Scholarship student.
I'm Kale Omnis. I go to Shelby.
I'm Rich Lipinski. I live in Onekama, and I'm a retired engineer playing music since 3rd grade.
I'm Amelia Hatch, and I'm a junior at Ludington.
I'm Rudy Castellani. I graduated Ludington in '07.
My name is Jazz. I live in Manistee, and I'm a scholarship student here.
I'm Dale Stream, currently from Ludington, originally from Bitely, south of Baldwin.
I am Sarah Abbott, and I'm a 5th year at ASM Tech going to school here.
I'm Adelaide Fleming, and I'm a freshman at Shelby.
I'm Chanel from here in Scottville.
My name is Avery Voss. I'm from Manistee, and I'm a 5th year in ASM Tech.
I'm Michael Quinteros. I'm also a 5th year in ASM Tech.
I'm Kaylee Latin. I'm from Hesperia, Michigan.
I'm Jocelyn Calixto, and I'm a freshman at Shelby.
I'm Stephanie Shalander. I teach at West Shore and I'm from Custer.
I'm Jasper Sack, and I'm a junior at Ludington High School.
I'm Colin Sullivan, and I'm an 8th grader from MCC.
I'm Henry Galindo. I'm a freshman from Hart High School.
I'm Luke Quitneski, and I'm a junior at Ludington.
I'm Bridget. I'm from Manistee.
I'm Tom Alway, a graduate of Mason County Central High School, Michigan State University, and I'm a director of IT here at West Shore Community College.
I'm Matt Hansen, and I'm a freshman at Ludington High School.
I'm Juan Ramirez, and I'm a junior at Shelby High School.
Jesus Cubillos. I graduated from Hart, and I currently live in New Era.
Kristen Hauser, graduate of Mason County Central.
Ethan Collins, freshman from Ludington.
I am Jackson Rossi, and I am a freshman in Ludington.
I'm John Klump. I'm a freshman at Ludington.
I'm Katie Grosso. I'm a junior at Ludington.
Al Erickson, local.
Larry Babcock, retiree, Ludington.
I'm Aiden Forrester from Ludington, and I'm a scholarship student.
Ella from Ludington, and I'm an adult.
I'm Michael Stream. I graduated from Mason County Central. I live here in Ludington.
I'm Quinn Merchant. I'm a senior at Ludington.
I'm Macy Riemann from Ludington High School.
I'm Nick. I'm finishing up my degree here through ASM Tech, and then I'm off to CMU.
I'm Zach Hector, all failing. I'm from Hesperia.
Ashley Johnson. That's my mom. I'm from Scottville. I'm a 5th year ASM Tech student.
I'm Caden Plummer. I graduated from Ludington High, and I live right down the road.
I'm Ben Coleman. I'm a senior at Ludington High School.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's give it up for everyone. Fantastic. All right, we're gonna bring out Mr. T for some Average White Band.
Because I'm an average white man. This is a little funk tune called Pick Up the Pieces. So if you feel like dancing, just don't break a hip.
Thank you so much. So this is Big Band 2. Let's give one more round of applause. We're gonna make a quick shift over to Big Band 1. We'll just with the house lights. You can just stretch about we'll try to do it really quick, so we'll be right back.
That featured senior pianist Maggie Autry on piano. That's right. She's going to Hillsdale, and we're going to miss her a lot. So it's been awesome. Let's give it up for Maggie. That piece was entitled Jumping at the Woodside. It's jump tempo, Count Basie. He usually uses it as a closer, but we made it as an opener because it's a lot of fun to play. The next piece we're going to play is called One for Daddy-O. And that will feature L.J. Lindsay on trumpet and Keith Kuczynski on alto sax. Thank you, thank you. Again, and Mr. L.J. Lindsay on the trumpet. Alto saxophone, Mr. Keith Kuczynski. And Warren Sokolnicki on the drums. So, I'm going to lay some knowledge on these guys here for a minute. See that trombone section? You see him right? Ben, do you realize you're the elder of that trombone section? So, they don't make an art magazine for trombonists. Or, I was thinking of what I can do to, encourage your elderly nature, maybe some insure. I don't know, but hey, it's good for you. But we're going to hear from a trombonist right now who's in the 8th grade. And I'm telling you, you're going to be blown away. And to the left of him, I have a trombonist who's a freshman and a junior and a little bit older, but still under. You have legal. You're 21 now. You're not even. Yeah, he's not even 21 yet. This is a young trombone section, and it is the strongest trombone section I have ever had the pleasure of working with in my whole career. So please. Let's give it up for the trombone section on this beautiful ballad, Billie Holiday arrangement, featuring Colin Sullivan on lead trombone. Did I say that right? Okay, with one L. All right, jeez. God bless the child. So obviously Collins does a beautiful job on that solo, but the trombone section for such young folks to be playing at that level is just unbelievable. And it's happening throughout this whole group. We have older people like John. We know that. You're live to the world too, buddy. Yeah, it's okay. I do want to make another honorable mention here. Cale Omnis over here from Shelby Schools represented his school and this band at the All-State at the Michigan Music Conference this year. Did you play alto? Yeah, alto sax in the All-State Jazz Band. And what year are you? Yeah, as a sophomore. All-State. Two saxophonists in the state, and he was one of them. So we're proud of you. Yes? Awesome. Okay. We're moving right along. Sorry, I'm talking my back to you. That's really rude. Just want to make sure I get this right. So this piece is going to, Sammy Nestigochart, Switch in Time, is going to feature Henry Galindo on trombone, freshman trombonist from Hart, and Maggie Autry on piano. Switch in Time. very much. Switch in Time by Sammy Nestico. So we're going to do a Billy Strayhorn arrangement of a very famous standard that we all know and love called Take the A Train, made famous by the Duke Ellington Band. And this is the original transcription of this. So we've worked hard to try to encapsulate some of that authentic sound. We have more players than Duke Ellington would usually play this piece with, so we have a couple extra instruments. But this is Take the A Train. This features LJ, right? LJ Lindsay on trumpet. Oh, and the most famous riff of all. Maggie Autry again on piano. Take the A Train. LJ Lindsay on the trumpet. And Maggie Autry on the piano. I have a cheat sheet here, and I want to do this quickly. But there's some thank yous. First off, I want to thank this band, really. I mean, for a great time. I mean, it's a great band to work with. They're very talented musicians. I'll probably say it again in this, too. So I want to thank West Shore Community College. I mean, we have something special here, and we cannot do it without the support of our Board of Trustees, our administration, and the whole college at large. I mean, anybody go to Beauty and the Beast here? Right? I see some of the stars of Beauty and the Beast in some of these places here. But, I mean, we're doing some great things here, but we cannot do it without the support of our college, our donors, and our administration. They truly believe in what we do, and we're making a difference in these kids' lives, hopefully, and our adults as well, our community members. I don't believe they're here, but Bill Anderson, our second president. Bill, if you're online, hi. And Anna, his wife, they come to all of our events. Our second president of the college, and he, I believe he had hip a hip surgery, and he's just recovering from that. So I want to thank him because lots of development of this program in his time. I also know that Rick Plummer is in the office. Where are you, Rick? Just raise your hand. You're somewhere. He just went out with his grandchild. But Rick, you guys, I'm a successor, right? And Rick did so much to generate the donors here and stuff, and he was here. So I want to thank him. Yes. Is President Ward here? I didn't know if he was tonight. Said a yes? No, I hear no, but that's okay. I want to thank President Ward, my friend President Ward, and Laura, his wife. They have been absolutely just rock stars in terms of supporting what we're doing here. I want to thank Darby Johnson. She's probably online, our Dean of Arts and Sciences. Yes? Yvette, our administrative assistant for this whole program. I'm not the organized one that everybody thinks I am. It's her. Yeah, no, right, I'm not organized. I want to thank Adam Knutson, Amanda Colleen. They are rocks. They are always here. They're helping. Amanda's back there. Adam is in broadcast right now. I want to thank Dawson, Big Rounds, Dawson Seagraves. We have 11 cameras. We have students, all the students. If you go on Facebook right now, you'll see you guys all with the cameras and everything, and they are running everything. They're doing everything. So, and that was the dream, to build this big studio and have students running it. And right, Kaylee? Or Kylie? Kylie's right there. Kaylee's my daughter. There's Kylie. Yep. So let's thank Dawson and the whole video production crew. Big Round Sound. Gerald is the owner of Big Round Sound, and he is our A2, and he had some health issues, and hopefully he's watching, and we love you, Gerald, and you recover soon. And Josh McGann, my man back there, is working through Big Round Sound, and he's wonderful, and he's doing our front of house tonight. Let's give them a round of applause. I'm getting there, I promise. I want to thank our entire scholarship team. The whole scholarship, we gave $57,000 out of three days ago, $57,000 in scholarships away to students that are at West Shore in performing arts. Let's give them a round of applause. The only way you make a successful program, if you build it, they will not come. You have to go out and you have to generate grassroots relationships with people. I don't care what program you have. If you don't go out and develop relationship, you won't get all these kids here. And I cannot do this without all the support of the band directors. We have all these band directors and choir directors in our program. So I just want to thank Keith Kaczynski from Ludington, Elliot Plummer, choir director from Ludington, Jesse Rodriguez from Pentwater, Caleb Schultz from Mason County Central, Anthony Oronovici from Baldwin, I love that name, Ryan Biller from Manistee, Aaron Ray from Shelby, John Breitenbach from Hart. I don't have anybody, and Keith is in this band. So I want to thank all, yes, give them a round of applause. Lastly, I want to thank, how many people, raise your hand if you're a parent or a relative of somebody up here tonight in either one of those bands. Thank you so much for encouraging these students to do what they do, right? This is a world where we need as much positivity as possible, and every time they leave, hopefully they're getting a positive experience. So thank you to the parents, because I know I'm a parent. I have one at Michigan State, and I have a younger one, and it is a lot of work and a lot of support. So thank you very much. And again, I love you guys. I'm a better person when I leave on a Thursday night, and I hope you guys are too. So with that being said, we want to finish our final song. Easter's coming. It's a chicken. We'll figure it out. This piece is called The Chicken. Jaco. It features Jason Harvey Hargraves. Now here's the deal. It's our last tune, right? You have shotgun mics. You can hear when he starts playing, if you hoot louder, he plays faster and more crazy. You ready? You ready? Here we go. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Band 2. Excellent job, Band 2. Jazz Band 1, West Shore Community College, thank you for coming out tonight. Stay tuned. We have lots of great things on this stage for 25-26. Please check it out. It's going to be an awesome season. We love you all and have a great night. Thank you.